Hey there, my name is Pravus and welcome to more Terra Invicta. We are playing as the Resistance and we are beelining for the nuclear freighters technology so I can afford to launch some mines to the moon. I really want to get that space economy up and running. I also really wanted to get cybernetics, but if people are going to fight me on this too much, I have other priorities. We may miss out on that. That is a-okay. I have to say, by the way, I really love the attention to detail and the aesthetics that have been put into this game. The fact that I can just zoom out to like any of these planetary bodies and stuff, right? Just go all the way over here to the moon, and we can just look at all the other stuff that's out in space. I don't know, it's just kind of cool. It's just like an aesthetic choice that did not have to be made, but I really am glad that the devs did. Anyways, let's go ahead and jump forward a little bit. We have a couple of months before I'll be able to get what I want. Let's also remember that there is still a giant freaking monster rampaging through Syria and destroying everything in sight. I should note, by the way, my overall science value has gone down from like 30-something. Part of the reason for that is you actually are inefficient if you spend all of your science on like one research point. If we were to spread things out a little bit, notice that our overall science value goes up, right? So we can contribute more across multiple different projects. But if you really want to get something done fast, you're going to have to accept a penalty. How are we looking in the USA, by the way? We should check in on this once in a while. For the most part, pretty good. They are officially now a full democracy, no longer flawed, so that's solid. GDP is still suffering, but we're still getting a fair number of investment points as long as we continue advising the nation. The extra admin power from my advisor is really helping to go a long way and build up everything else. It looks like, well, first off, we've actually reached diverse. We no longer need to invest very heavily in unity at all. That's actually fantastic. Okay. And then, yeah, we probably focus more on boost and stuff. The welfare is still doing its job. That's looking good. And then once we feel like this is in a pretty good spot and I finish out this extra army, I think we just go ahead and start boosting out the economy. The US is looking pretty good. And we've definitely got more science now than when we first started in the nation. What about Kazakhstan? Kazakhstan's actually doing pretty good too. It is gradually ticking up from an authoritarian government. For the most part, the GDP is looking a lot better. Investment points are going up. We have invested a lot more in boosts, so we're up to 2.9 here. The inequality is low, and the GDP per capita is looking pretty solid. Yeah, actually, Kazakhstan is just kind of quietly chugging away, feeling really good about itself. Nuclear freighters is done. Okay. What is the next technology I really want to work on? Defend the Earth is what we need for our overall objective. Alien movements, also necessary for our overall objective. Information Science Lab, the Global Listening Network. Will get me extra investigation when detecting aliens. That's fun. +2 to unrest missions. Interesting. And unrest increases in our nations when they're conquered. So this would be a way of boosting up my command kind of by default. A little bit, anyway. Some of these could be kind of helpful for me. Publicize the alien threat, gain a public opinion boost for the resistance all over the world, right? Kind of cool. I think I want institutional outreach. Another 5 organizations available for acquisition each month means more opportunities to get something really good. All right, let's go ahead and finally start dividing out some of that science. I'm pretty sure the boat has sailed as far as getting to control something there. Maybe I can snag control of industrialization of space, maybe, but it's gonna take a while. So the real question, now that I have nuclear freighters, how much more affordable is it to go to the moon? Is it affordable at all? Please tell me it is, for God's sake. I'd like to get this going finally. We've been teasing it long enough, haven't we? All right, mining complex now costs only 24. Oh my God, now we can do this, heck yes. All right, we are gonna spend some money. We are gonna be building this on Earth. And we are going to launch an outpost mining center. This is going to get me an income of 9.1 water, 2.7 volatiles, and 6.2 base metals. We are also going to need some power over here eventually. You can't build multiple mines on the same base, by the way. We don't need to send this right now. We can afford to wait for about a month because this takes, I think it was 65 days. Actually, no. No, this is going to be completed in December. If I want to do this now, 34 days. Actually, I feel like we need to do this right now. Let's go ahead and do that. So we have a little bit of excess power we're sitting on. Is there anything else I really want to get? Maybe we save that last slot for something else I'm going to want instead. I have no idea what it's going to be yet. The important thing is we're freaking getting a mine. My God, this has been a long time coming. Oh, we also got something in the Balkans. Oh, what do you know? We finally succeeded in our goal. God. I want to buy the Ares Mining Organization. Getting the extra income and the extra boost towards certain investments is nice. Don't care about spoils, but economy's good. But I really like the idea of an extra 5% space mining output bonus. We can stack a lot of these modifiers up with the right organizations and get a ridiculous amount of income from space. And since this lady doesn't have anything better to do, this seems good enough. Let's do it. Biotechnology tech is done, and the Exodus chose the mission to the asteroids for the next big research. I don't really like that. I don't want them going to the asteroids, but you know what? As long as I can go to Mars first, I don't really care too much. What I do want is to get to decide what the next research is going to be, so I will invest a fair bit in this until I'm confident I'm going to win, because we should now be able to work toward cybernetics, and that means more augmentations for all of my counselors. The alien megafauna appears to be on the verge of death, which is great. So this thing is going to be dying in Syria now, yeah? I mean, it's not... That's kind of weird. It's not like it's going anywhere. I don't think there's anything I can do to, like, assault it, which would be really cool if we could. Or assassinate it. I don't know. I'd be happy to do that, but no, that's not an option. I'm not really sure if this is going to go away on its own or if we need to finish it off in some way. You can notice, by the way, that its tech level is considered to be 5.8. Contrast that with the United States, which was, what was it, 4.5. So this is stronger than one army. But if you were to put several armies against this thing, I don't know, maybe at some point it kind of beats it out. We have completed construction of a new outpost mining complex. Oh my god. Okay, so with that done, we are now producing the 3 resources that I otherwise was losing. All of a sudden, my boost goes up to 0.19 because I no longer need to transport resources. It's kind of weird in this game, where I may be producing resources on Luna, but you can basically assume that everything that is non-Earth has instantaneous access to whatever resources I produce. So I don't have to ship things from Mars to Luna to Mercury, for example. It's just, if I produce it in Mars, it's available anywhere in the solar system, just not on Earth. Kind of weird, but that's just one little limitation of the game. So the more I can toss onto this thing, the more mines I can get, the better off I'm going to be. Would it be a bad idea to go ahead and launch the same thing over here? I don't think it would. I think we go ahead and launch another mine over Myaw and get a solar collector, of course, just like before, and now we'll start producing a heck of a lot more base metals as well as some of the fissiles. Fissiles? Fissiles? How do you say that? It's obviously for, like, nuclear fission. I know that. But I don't think I've ever heard this pronounced as fissiles. Maybe. I don't know. Xenology Lab. That's another thing that I wanted to launch into space since I've got a little bit of extra power and space to go with. An extra 10% research boost on some of the alien tech actually could be really, really helpful. We are definitely going to go ahead and move on to augmented learning. 5,000 research is really long, though. All right. Hang on. Maybe we should just go ahead and do Defend the Earth and just do it. Our control management points go up by 25. Like, that is enough for us to get at least, like, 1 or 2 more points in the European Union and feel pretty good about that. So that would be fantastic. Of course, it's still a matter of whether I can get into the European Union. Why is Earth tiny? Did I bug the game? Whoa, Earth, why are you tiny? I bugged the game, guys! No, like, literally, Earth just shrank in size. These are all the satellites and the alien ship around the planet. I'll be honest, I've been playing this around for like 20, 30 hours. This is the first bug I've run into. The game is usually so polished. This is hilarious. It's teeny tiny Earth. Oh, thank God. Reloading appears to have resized the Earth to the correct size. Man, you know, that would have made it really easy to defend the Earth if it suddenly shrank down to 1% of its former size, if not less. Oh, that would have been so funny. The alien megafauna in Damascus is destroyed. Cool, we got an achievement called Kaiju Killer. That's what I was thinking of, not Godzilla, Kaiju. Alright, we defeated an alien megafauna. Initial examinations of the colossal carcass suggests it is not a wholly independent entity, but linked to the plant-like alien growth around them. So it's kind of like a weird fungal network, right? Apparently, the plant growth is like the mycelium, and these are like rapidly growing giant actual mushrooms that then pick up and start destroying everything around them. Whatever they apparently are part of the alien's terraforming process. They absorb soil, bedrock, plant, animal life into its bulk and become a giant creature mass. Yeah, if we don't get rid of the xenofauna that is going to be occasionally popping up on the planet, this is going to kill us. I want to point out that we are rapidly catching up to the servants in the industrialization of space tech. Because even at 9.57 research being contributed per day, they can't keep up with us. We are so far advanced compared to most nations with science. This is where the US is good, man. The US is a really, really, really powerful choice. Gosh dang, the Academy really does not want to give me an opening to take over part of the European Union. This thing just expired within like 2 days they had defended interests. The AI is really on top of it, which is smart, but very frustrating for me. Now here's something I want to point out to you guys, all right? So I want to build this xenology lab, right, for the 10% extra research bonus for a lot of our mission stuff, a lot of our story-based objectives. If we want to build this here, we could build it on Earth, and it would take 2.9 boost and some money, 34 days. Or, now that we have the basic resources we need, it'll take the same amount of time, but almost no money and 0.0029 boost to build. And that is the power of industrializing space. All of a sudden, boost, while still important, is nowhere near as crucial to our success as it was before. In fact, now that we have a little bit of extra boost sitting around, do we want to go ahead and just launch to Mars? Yeah, let's do a prospector probe. This is going to take a year, but look at the potential yields on Mars. So much better than Luna. And this is why you could theoretically just skip Luna entirely if you're looking to industrialize space. But I wanted to do it just because, as you've noticed, it can make a pretty big difference as far as our costs and our boost, which means I can take advantage of more things faster. So I still think it's the right way to go. Oh my god, what is this? Espero? Yes. Yes, please. I will happily take a free organization that gives me more administration than it takes up and 1.75 extra boost per month. Yes, this is so good. Another outpost mining complex is done, which means now we're making a pretty hefty amount of fissile material. Beautiful. Now, we are, interestingly, losing volatiles again somehow. Okay. Apparently, I still have a little bit too much when it comes to our maintenance. We're gonna need to find a way to start mining more, or it's once again gonna start cutting into my boost. That said, if I wanted to, like, how hard would it be to just go ahead and claim another one of these sites and get another large chunk of boost material? It wouldn't be too hard to get more volatiles if we did this, and we've got time before we can go to Mars, so why run a deficit? Let's just go ahead and claim this for only 4 boost. And we finished the research for the asteroids. Now, there's some fun stuff we could do out there, but we'll come back to that in a minute. Mission to Jupiter. Yeah, that'd be a little bit early for that. Let's go for the cybernetics. We know that this is something we need, and if I'm having a heck of a time doing any coups or purges in the European Union, best solution is either better organizations or more skills, so I'm just better at the command skill. Iceland has joined the European Union. Okay, that's not them being integrated. This is the part where they can join a federation. If a nation is not a part of a federation like the European Union, initially what you can do is take them over, then wait for a long time, then get them to ally with the leader of the nation, and then wait for a long time, then join the federation, and now they're starting the clock to wait for a long time, and then actually just join into one giant unification project. That's what the AI is clearly working toward right now, which makes a lot of sense. I'm kind of surprised they haven't been able to pull that off with Italy or Germany or anything yet, though, since they've held the executive branches here for a very long time. Somewhere down the line, the AI has decided that's not worth it. However, interestingly enough, the servants did decide to pull Hungary out of the EU. I think because they might recognize that I might be about to take over the nation, and they're like, no, we don't want to risk this all joining up into one superstate and losing this forever. We'd rather just pull them out. Portugal has joined into the EU. Okay. I wasn't even having that on my radar, but I guess that makes sense. Yeah, EU continues to get stronger, and for the life of me, I can't get into it. Something I suppose we could do, even though I don't know that I'm going to take advantage of this, is we could start looking for places to mine in the asteroid belts. There are usually a few really good options out here. Ceres is one of the big ones. These guys are usually okay. Pretty awesome resources, lots of water potential over here. I don't know if you guys have ever read a book series called The Expanse. I'm actually reading through it right now. I've been really enjoying it. But series is kind of a main focal point, especially for the first book. So it's a recognizable name. Takes a long time to get to, but you know what? That's fine. Let's go ahead and launch a probe. I have plenty of boosts. Ooh, especially want to take a look at Psyche over here. That is potentially an asteroid worth mining. That's a ridiculous potential amount of noble metals. We don't have any of those yet. It's going to take a long time to get there. But I'm basically just launching probes all over the asteroid belt, anywhere where it feels like there could be some good resources to be had. And this one really comes into play. Now, it is worth noting that you can arrive at your destination faster and cost yourself less money and boost if you launch at the right window, right? The longer we wait, I think, right now, let's see if we can unpause here, it should be reducing the amount of time it would take to get there. So you could wait until the ideal launch window. And that's usually not even a bad idea. What about Mercury? Can I launch a probe here? No, we haven't got missions to the inner planets yet. Not that Mercury usually has an absolute ton that's worth anything to me, but even so, I'd like to explore it at some point. Oh my god, what is going on here? Okay, hang on. A whole load of administrative organizations just became available. This could be a really good opportunity for me. So, one thing I'm really lacking right now is a character who's very good at investigation and espionage, because these are the two stats that I need for things like crackdowns and for purges. Command will be good for more offensive things like coup d'etats, as well as assassinations and so on. I'm focusing this on one particular character, but, I mean, still only level 8, for the record. It's not great, but nonetheless, I'd really benefit from having higher skills here. So on Mika, what we could do is give something like the Ryson Group, which is really quite cheap. I mean, it costs some money, but like, who cares? To get a ridiculous amount of extra admin. And then there's Garnet Global, which does the same thing. So boom. All we're missing now is figuring out where I'm going to get a lot more investigative stuff. And unfortunately, with things like the CIA gone, we've missed out a little bit. I can purchase something cheap for now, but circling back around to this, we might be able to get some really good stuff for her. I want to get this. I don't know why I can't, though. Faction must have a control point in India or a counselor from there. I've got several. You should be able to get this. Let me guess, you need some sort of a trait. Government trait. Of course. Well, the good news is very soon, once you get up to 20 XP, we could buy the government trait, and if this is still around, that's +2 to each of the stats that I care about. That would be massive. We have finished the Defend the Earth project, which gets me an extra control point management capacity of 25. Not to mention, we now have a whole new special organization. All right, we have completed the Set Our Goals objective. The world is fractured. Parts of humanity have chosen to submit, aiming only to survive. Others have sought to take advantage of the situation. Others have decided the only path to victory is to destroy the aliens or turn the tables and enslave them. Yes, this is all the premise of the game. We understand that. Something must be new. We have chosen to reject this belief. We do not believe, as Humanity First do, that humanity must be violently xenophobic, nor do we agree with the Academy we should sacrifice our lives to befriend a race of ruthless slavers. We do not think that human society needs to be remolded around corporations in the name of profit. Basically, everyone else is wrong. So this is our decision. Our goal is not to change the world. Our goal is to stop the alien invasion and nothing more. Human society will be transformed, but the nature of that transformation is a matter for the individual countries. My, how very progressive of you, I suppose. I actually don't know if I totally agree with that, but okay, nah, it's fine. The important thing is, with all this extra capacity, we could completely change up our game plan here. I have not been able to make any progress in the European Union, like, at all. The Academy is extremely tight on this one. We have to fight constantly over public opinion. It's just not going anywhere. And now I could actually leave this. Get back 17 of my cap. Abandon what we've got here in the Balkan states. Get a fair bit more there. Get about 12 more there. Another 10 to 11 there. We could free up about 40-ish cap, maybe a little bit more. Maybe closer to 50. What I'm wondering is, would it make sense to go to China? I know. Abandoning the USA in order to fight over China, where currently no one is fighting against me. Now, if we do this, we're looking at 30 cost per cap. which is very, very, very expensive, but simply picking this up is worth a load of extra science and such. We might be able to take, like, 2 of these points. That would be worth kind of a lot, and we can start guiding China in the right direction. And we could have a sort of special, I don't know, alliance between America and China. Good lord, it's like Firefly. That's an option. Other contenders might have been India. India would be a cheaper option, but still has a lot of potential if done correctly. But the initiative and the servants are fighting it out over that one right now. So I don't think that's going to go very far. If we want to take over China, I'm going to be in the same situation where I want to control some of their neighbors in order to boost up my success chance in any missions. Take over things like the Himalayan states. Take over something like Laos. Won't be able to take Pakistan, but that's fine. Afghanistan, maybe. Tajikistan. Yeah, we could take that. Kyrgyzstan, Mongolia. We could take a bunch of neighbors around China and then start abandoning them in favor of this. I'm seriously thinking about it. It would not be total control. It would only be to just sort of pad myself with some uncontested, really good science. Like, we get an extra 10... Well, not 10, but we get a lot extra per day. Or we continue fighting over this, and we try to keep the Academy under control. It sort of depends. How much faster do I think I can get more control points? I really wanted to control the European Union, but... Okay, let's wait around for the next action phase, the next mission phase, and let's just see how difficult it would be to get in there. I'm guessing pretty darn hard. Okay, so controlling a node in China right now has a 0% chance. Right, okay. It's because the size of the national economy. I would basically need around a skill of 30 persuasion in order to have a good chance of beating this. Getting the neighbors obviously does help, but only like 0.5 per nation, which is not a lot. So this probably is not going to work for me. Okay, so no China. No China. Would have been fun. Not going to be a good option for us. What are the other alternatives? We could take over Canada. That way, at least the United States and Canada are buddies again. Canada should be affordable, and I don't think I have to give up too much from what I'm already doing in order to do this. Yeah, let's take over Canada and get this back on our side, and maybe in the future we can use this to set up the right kinds of alliances so we can form the North American state. We've also completed the Alien Movements Project, which is also for our objective. So now we can directly detect alien operatives. Yup, because this whole time, there have been alien operatives, just like our counselors, moving around on Earth. Now we're actually able to find them. Basically, we're going to find them with some good old-fashioned technology. It's apparently able to detect kind of like a pheromone of sorts in order to find out where they are. So we just sort of look at people through a special lens, and oh, lo and behold, you're an alien. The next thing we need to do is detect an operative and then assassinate it. We need to kill the aliens and find a body for study. Could be kind of tough. Could be very tough, in fact, but would be really, really good if we can pull it off. Oh, God, what is this thing I've been missing out this whole time? Holy crud, wait a minute, I forgot that we have a special organization that we unlocked once we chose our goal. This thing is outstanding. 5 more investigation, 5 more espionage, 10 command, and enough admin to make it free, plus some science and security and better research. Holy crud. Yeah, you're going on this guy. We need that command because I need to go hunting for some aliens. Okay, it's the next phase. Oh, and now it is working. Okay. Right. So, I don't actually want this on you. I'm going to unequip this. It costs a lot of money to re-equip it somewhere else, but I think it's worth it because I really want this stuff to get equipped onto her. So let's go ahead and equip this. It's going to cost me a chunk of money, so I'm using up almost all of my cash, but such is the way of things. There are additional organizations we could get, like this one. Yeah, another +1 to investigation and 2 to espionage. This is perfect. I want to go ahead and purchase this one. And then there was another... Yeah, this is 2 stars for both of these. Yeah, we can't get MI5. This would have been nice, but we need a little bit more admin to make this one work. Okay, so that's not going to be an option for us, but nonetheless, we've boosted her stats up a fair bit. So, wow. Okay. Things are looking pretty good here. I think one of the weirdest things about this game is that it feels like there's no point in ever getting anything other than administration. I mean, you level up your other skills so slowly, and organizations can end up giving you more stats than you would get if you leveled them up the other way, so it seems like a little bit unbalanced, I guess, in this game, in that it's always the right choice. Almost always the right choice. Kind of weird. Finally, cybernetic research is done. Now, what should we go for in the tech tree? Great question. I am, at this point, kind of leaning toward working toward the great nations so we can finally start building out our nations that way. Yeah, I kind of like that idea a lot. I think we're going to do that. We need to pick up the Arrival International Relations, which is going to open up a bunch of new faction projects, but more importantly, starts working toward the stuff that we want. Good. And industrialization of space is almost done as well. Gosh, I just tripped over that word. It's a little bit late at night. I apologize. This should be finishing up, not like on time per se for us to go and prospect Mars, but like we should have a probe on its way. Someone has already grabbed a base here. Hello, initiative. Okay, they're ahead of the game on that one. Fair enough. But I will win in the long run because I guarantee you I have way more materials than you do. What I wanted to know is how much longer until my probe arrives. It's on the way. It was just going to take like a full year. Whatever. Anyway, let's take a look at our people here and see what we can do. Oh, wait, no. Just because I have researched cybernetics. There they are. All right, now we're able to undertake the cybernetic implants. Cool. So there's a lot of different options here to just give you lots of free stats. I say free, it does take a little bit of effort. There it is. Cybernetic implants. This is what we need to do. So this is going to lead to us being able to place a loyalty monitor, which is not a good idea because it reads their thoughts and makes them unhappy, but everything else is basically just a +1 to any of these stats, which is obviously really good. It costs a lot of money though, and I have very little cash reserves because I've been playing around with my organizations. So I think one thing we should probably consider, doing is going to the United States and actually trying to siphon a little bit of money out of their economy. Not through corruption, mind you, just good old-fashioned, like, a real funding, all right? I want to level this up, because the more it levels up, the more money I get. By the way, the rest of this country is looking, like, really good. I mean, yeah, they're losing, like, a tiny bit of GDP per capita, but across the board, the U.S. is looking really, really good. Kazakhstan's also looking okay, though science is starting to go down just a smidge, but otherwise, not so bad over there either. All right, and then once we've got Canada on our side, which shouldn't be too hard, what I'll probably do with these guys is focus on nothing but mission control. Because now that we're getting into space, every new satellite that I put out there, every new mine and outpost is going to start taking up a bunch of my mission control, and this is going to be a major limiter for us. So we're going to need to be developing as much of this as possible, especially before the United States and Canada can merge into one big nation. This is actually one really good compelling reason to take a bunch of small nations that you plan on holding on to, which I don't necessarily plan on holding on to in the Balkan states, but you get the idea, and then just go ahead and start working on lots and lots of mission control. They're fairly good at specializing in one tiny little thing, but I'm not going to worry about any of that. I just want lots of money for cybernetic implants. You know, personal reasons and stuff. Don't worry about it too much. Anyway, I think this is a good place for us to end this video, so I'm going to be doing that now. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If so, I would ask you hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe, hit the notify bell, and I will see you guys next time.